Tough, man. I'm excited today because I get to show you the upgraded simulator. I've been wanting to show you guys this for a while. Just haven't had time to do it. Here we go. I've had the simulator for a while now, and the base, when I first started, it was probably about 10 years ago with the Playseats base system, which I'm still rocking that right now. I'm gonna probably end up changing that later, but for right now, I'm still rocking it. And but I've done some mods to it over the years, and I got some big ones lately. Well, first I'll show you the profile here. Now this whole thing is a rolling unit. It rolls around on its own. Everything is self-contained. The only thing coming out from it is a wire that plugs into the wall, and that's how I like it. It's also in my living room, and I don't want a computer, you know, hanging out. So when this thing's actually pushed against the wall, this is all you see right here. You're not seeing any computers. You don't see butt kicker amps. You don't see wires. You don't see cords. You don't see any of that stuff. It's all hidden behind the TV set, right? And that's how I like it, man. I like it clean. I'm kind of OCD on that. So the thing is on a rolling platform. You can see here I went to the local fabrication shop, had to make me up a pan. It's 1/8" aluminum, not too expensive. And then I bought some caster wheels down at Harbor Freight, and it rolls around real nice. This is a heavy piece. I don't know how much it weighs, but it is quite heavy. But it rolls around very nice, and it doesn't move around too much when you're racing. So that's good. I did have to raise the steering wheel up. You see I made I fabricated a bracket up here out of aluminum. And I had to raise it up like 2.5 inches because the next level motion, which you see on the bottom, which I'll get into in a second, raises it up 2.5 inches. So I had to accommodate that for the steering wheel. Like I said, if I build another one of these, it's probably gonna be a little bit different. But for now, this is what we're rocking. You can see I run a containment seat here, which is very good for next level motion because you can see the rib, it wraps around your rib cage, and the supports here are good for shoulder supports. And you know, later on, if you wanted to add like, you know, some speakers up here or something, you'd have some nice mounting points. You could drill something in here and make a bracket that came up here. Very simple, but these are very sturdy, and they're kind of common, they're kind of like the industry standard right now in dirt track racing and asphalt racing. You know, safety's come a long way in the last 10 years. Okay, so I run the Fanatec stuff, very high. I mean, I think this is really good stuff. I know some people like the direct drive wheels. This is really good. This is a belt driven. It's all anodized aluminum inside there. It's very sturdy stuff. Fanatec is really good equipment. This is the V2.5. I think it works on an Xbox as well. That's why it's green, but it works on a PC. And I bought a wheel, a Sparco wheel off eBay. I love this one. It feels so good. It's a 14-inch, I believe. It's about 50 bucks, but man, it's really good. It feels more like a real race car, a real modified dirt car or whatever than the small wheels that you usually see with simulators. Let's get in here. I got a Bose sound system that we've hooked in that we use sometimes. And then I want to show you here. So let's get into the brakes, man. You know, the brakes is a huge upgrade. I used to have the G27 stuff. This is night and day better. One, it feels like a tilt and brake, real stiff stuff. I mean, it's rock solid, man. It feels real. And there's different little things you can put in there to make it stiffer or make it softer, whatever you want. So there's a lot of tuning. There's a cam on the back that you can fine adjust it. But yeah. All right, so I've done a customization here. Some of you guys aren't gonna like this, but the one thing I didn't like is that, and this is the inverted model, by the way, you can see it hangs off the top, very cool, is that I thought the brakes and the gas were a little too close together. At least it's more close than my real race car. And with this bar being in the way, that didn't help. And I really don't use the clutch too much. I know a lot of you guys do, but usually, you know, I have the automated clutch. Usually I use the stick shift, but I usually, you know, where you put the clutch in, you pump the gas and it shifts into gear. So I swapped the clutch and the brake, okay? And I love it. I mean, this spread is more realistic to what's in my race car, so that's kind of what I'm in for. I also added these little brackets right here. See these little L brackets right here, and your foot sits right up against that. I got one on both sides, and man, that's really cool. It feels so awesome. I want to put this in my real race car because you just have so much more control, and it's so much more consistent having your foot up against this. So that's something I added, and you can just, you know, that's something super simple to make. You just need a piece of aluminum, you just knock it 90 degrees and then drill 2 holes in it. So I love that. Okay, let me see. I think we got all that up here. Now let's talk about the next level motion, because that's the biggest upgrade that I've done. And it's about a $3,000 piece. And does it feel real? It feels pretty real. I mean, is it perfect? No, but it's really close. And if you have VR, it adds to the experience tremendously. And so I'll talk a little bit about it. This unit shakes just this and the shifter. There are full motion platforms that shake the whole thing. What I like about the seat though is because it's just contained to the seat, it has more control. You know, when you're trying to move a whole platform, it takes a lot of power and it's harder to be more consistent. Where with this, it moves dramatically, consistently and fast. So very good on that. Mounting these can be a little tricky. Some people have sliders that allow the seat to go forward and back, which is good. The only problem is for me is I wanted to keep the seat as low as I could, because one of the things with me, one of the problems I have even just looking at other simulator seats, is that I think the seat is too high in relation to the pedals. So I want to keep this as realistic as I can, like to my race car and how close it is, you know, and if I keep raising it up with brackets and stuff like that, all of a sudden my seat's going to be real high and the pedals are going to be real low, and I just don't want that. So I'm about 2.5 inches higher than I was before I had the next level. I made this plate right here. It's an 1/8 inch aluminum. See that? And pretty functional. Bolts to the next level. And I got these transducers, these butt kickers. I cut the mounting. You know, they have that little mount, the clamp-on mounts. I cut those off. You just got a Harbor Freight cutter or a grinder. Got a cutting wheel. Cut the thing off. Left a little bit out. Left it about 1/8 inch out, 1/4 inch out, and then chased it with a sanding wheel. And it looks like factory cut. I mean, you wouldn't know any different. But see, I wouldn't be able to fit those in there if I had those clamps. So now I have those two. I got a left rear, right rear, and it goes down. Wires go down through a hole. If you can see it right there, and it's a little dark, but it comes down and it's very clean. One of the things, like I mentioned before, is like I got a little OCD here, so I like the wires. I like everything clean, man. I can't have wires all over the place, and this is about as clean as I could get it. I'm not tripping over wires when I get in and out of it. I don't have to worry about my friends tripping over wires when they get in and out. But yeah, now I do have 4 transducers. Okay, I got one on the left rear, right front, left front, right? And it's pretty cool having all that. It feels really good. I didn't really used to run one. I used to run one. I didn't used to run any on the front. And man, if I had to give you some advice, is get a butt kicker for the front, because it allows you to feel the engine, right? Okay, I'm gonna wrap around here. Now the shifter, I wasn't sure what I was gonna deal with. Originally, I was gonna mount it to the chassis, but then as I got to thinking about it, if this seat's rocking and rolling, I think I want the shifter rocking and rolling with the seat. So I mounted up a very simple, I made this simple bracket right here. See, it goes down, swoops down, goes in, 2 bolts. And I was worried how sturdy this would be, and it is rock solid. So that made me feel really good. I don't think I could have done it better. I don't think I could buy anything better, you know, for what I wanted to do. Now these shifters by Fanatec are rock solid, man. I mean, if you have to get a shifter, this might be the best one out there. It comes with a couple different handles you can use. There's a taller one, and it's just like metal on metal, man. It feels like a real transmission. There's also a e-brake that you can mount to the side here, and I haven't really got into that yet, but yeah. Now I do run Oculus. I do all my stuff on Oculus, which I love, and that is the biggest thing. You could probably, if you had to do one upgrade on iRacing or racing, I would say get the Oculus. It's about a $400 piece now, and it just changes the whole experience. It goes from something that feels like a video game or an arcade game to something that feels real. And yeah, so, and you can see I've got I mounted the sensors up here on the TV. I used to have them just sitting on here, but I didn't like the wires and they were always getting knocked over. And so I unscrewed the base from it, and that leaves you this little top piece right here. See that? And then I just ran it down and got some black, you know, or a little duct tape or Gorilla tape or whatever. It's not the clean, it's, you know, I don't want to say hokey, but it gets the job done and it works functionally, and now I'm not worried about it. Things getting knocked over, and it looks clean, and it actually tracks better when I'm racing, and even when I'm on the other VR stuff, it tracks better because it's up in the air and they're spread apart pretty good. So that's a good way to do it if you have a TV. The TV is a Samsung 4K wrap TV. It's like one of those arch TVs, whatever. Very clean, very bright, and I love it. It's I don't really use it too much. I mean, some of my friends don't like the VR because it makes them feel dizzy, and I'll let them race on this, and it's very crisp and very clear. I know some people say there's a little bit of delay with HDMI. I haven't really noticed too much of it, but you know, whatever. But anyway, it's a 4K TV. I got for 800 bucks, man. That's a good deal for a, I think it's a, I don't know what size that is. I think it's 55, 55 I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's a 55. It's been a while. All right, so let's go to the back because the back is my favorite part, man. I'm gonna kind of go back here and I'll show you what I got going on. Now first, I keep everything back here, right? We talked about that before. And I've got these hangers here for my VR stuff. They are, here, I'm gonna put this back. You guys know what an Oculus is, or if not, you can go look that up. But, so this is, let me set these over here. All right, so this is the back of the system, and it's all self-contained, and it's all strapped down because this thing's rocking and rolling, and I don't want to drop any amps on the ground or drop the computer. But yeah, I got 4 butt kickers. You can see here, left, left rear, right? They're red right now, but when I get racing, they turn green. I built it's gonna be a little hard for you guys to see, but see the main structure there that I built? It's a piece of 1.25 inch tubing, and it comes all the way up. 2 of them come all the way up, and it has like an H. It goes from here all the way across, right? You can't really see it. I know you can't see it, but you'll have to trust me, it's there. See that bar in there? See that? I know. But anyway, and what I did with that, and that was pretty cool because it allowed me to do a few things. Okay, first off, I went down and bought some Racecar Clamps that you can buy at any speed shop, any race car shop. On Speedway Motors has them if you can't find them. But they're 1.25 inch clamps, right? And they clamp right onto that bar that we have going across there. And one of the 1/2 inch bolts cuts through here, and this is a TV mount that you can get at Best Buy, Walmart, anything. Okay, so that allows me to mount the TV, right? The TV just hangs on here, very simple, very easy, right? On the other side, I have a tray here. The 1/2 inch bolt comes on this side, and it holds all the gloves, the racing gloves, the racing, sometimes I wear a racing sock on racing long races because it gets sweaty. And yeah, under this, I mounted, see these little hangers right here? These are for the Oculus stuff, right? These things right here. And it just basically screws in, can't really see, but it just screws in, and then I got a bolt clamped on each side of these, all right? And that allows me to hang stuff, whatever it is. If I got something like this I want to hang, I can, you know, it gives me a hanging unit to put stuff. So that's the tray on the top. And of course I got the wires up here. This stuff right here, forget using zip ties. Back in the day, I used to buy zip ties for a lot of money, and I know, you know, get these straps right here. They're Velcro straps. You get them down at Home Depot. It's like for 10 bucks, you get a huge roll of it, and they are awesome, man. I mean, you want to talk about getting your stuff all cleaned up. I mean, they are, and you can reuse them. That's what's nice about it. But isn't that cool? Yeah, man, that's so awesome. So I got everything as clean as I can. I know where the wires are going. I don't like to have any wires hanging down. Once again, we have another tray down here. See that? That holds the computer. I run the ASUS G20, Gamers Republic 20, and that holds that in place, right? And I got some more weight clamps. That's what it bolts to the 1.25 inch tubing going down, and this thing clamps onto there. Let me see. I'll get the undershot here. See that? Those 2 bolts right there? They're holding the computer, right? Very easy. Okay, well, let's take a look at the back of the system here. You can see this is the back of the brake system, and I've got 2 butt kickers here mounted to these poles right here. I added these supports in here to take the flex out of the brakes. It had a little bit of a you know, up and down. I know it's so complex back here, it's hard to see, but let me see if that helps. I added see that right there? It's a little bracket that I added on each side, and that also allowed me to mount the butt kickers onto each side, right? So I got a right, left, or right front, left front, okay? The hardest thing, and I knew it was gonna be, was the sound card, because I'm trying to get 4 transducers to work, plus the sound from the stereo, plus an Oculus, plus some the Bose stereo. So it gets complex. The more components you add, the more complex it's gonna get, right? One of the things you're gonna have if you wanna run a bunch of butt kickers like this, is you're gonna have, or transducers, is you're gonna have to get another sound card, Now you have two ways you could do it. They have ones that bolt into the machine, which I couldn't do because this one doesn't have an option for it. The ASUS 20, whatever, Rogue 20G, whatever, doesn't have that option. And I thought I was SOL on this project until, luckily, I figured out that I could use a USB external sound card for 30 bucks, right? 7.1, make sure you get the 7.1 channel if you get it. That way you have multiple sources to feed off. You know, you can, each channel feeds one of these, right? I've got a left front, left rear, right rear. And you need the 7.1 because you need to be able to run 4 channels to this and a channel to your Oculus or to your sound system, to your Bose, to whatever it is. You got to be able to split the sounds up, and that's what a sound card does. You basically, and real quick before I leave here, you can see it's all organized, very good. I know what's going on. That's how I like it. The more organized you are, the better, because when something goes wrong, you're not, you know, chasing wires all over the place. So everything has its place. Everything's, you know, I can wheel this thing in 2 minutes, or 1 minute, I can take it across the room, put it somewhere else without having to unplug anything except the plug in the wall. See that? Super simple. KISS theory, keep it simple, stupid, right? Yeah, so you're gonna have to get, before I let you go on this one, you're gonna have to get an external, so you get the external sound card, and then you need to download some software like Virtual Sound Card. And once you get it, it's a little complex at first. You'll be, you know, your mind will be racked trying to kind of make sense of everything. But once you start thinking about it, okay, this channel feeds right, left, this channel feeds this, and this channel. Once you kind of get all that figured out, it comes together. It was the most mind-numbing thing. It took me about a day to figure out. And if you get too complex on it, let me know and I'll try to help you out the best I can. I don't want to waste too much of this video talking about the sound card because it is complex. So, but anyway, that's that. And this is part 1. Part 2 I'll have coming up. I am going to get more into the game, the next level motion with iRacing, dirt track racing in iRacing with it, with the NASCAR stuff with it, some project cars. I want to talk about it, some of the software that it comes with. But anyway, this is a look at my mobile motion simulator. All right, it's Billy Baker. Show time.